Deep in total darkness, our guy is still swinging like a madman, cutting down endless waves of undead. And yep, these zombies just don't stop spawning no matter how many he deletes. He knows straight up this is the underworld and his body is built tough enough to handle it. But come on, fighting forever with no end in sight, even he thinks that's just pointless grind. Still, he keeps mowing down hordes of corpses left and right, until he finally screams at the top of his lungs that he is the king of humans. The savior of his people, a saint compared to the trash around him, or so he claims. Then out of nowhere, this man dares to call out the literal ruler of the underworld. The big boss appears totally unimpressed, while our king demands how he could possibly be treated like some weak scrub. The ruler basically calls him a clown and asks if he's finally gone completely insane. Because yeah, he knows this guy inside and out, how strong he thought he was all his life. But honestly, here he's nothing but a washed-up sinner. Just some war criminal who enjoyed torching villages for fun. Oh, and casually lopping off a little girl's head because she refused to fight. Real hero, huh? Sure, he's technically a king, but that crown sits on a mountain of corpses too big to count. So maybe he should shut up and accept that this hell is tailor-made for him. Because let's be clear, he is not the one in charge here. And until he gets that through his thick skull, he's gonna be ripped apart again and again. The man screams in agony, barely hanging onto his sanity as his grim fate sinks in. Later on, one of the underworld officials, No Ming, is low-key impressed. He says, yeah, King, your performance was epic, but bro, 300 years of the same monologue. Even anime reruns get stale. Our king thinks he's killing it, but No Ming exposes him. People here are struggling thanks to his antics. The king just shrugs it off, saying sinners are supposed to suffer. That's literally the point. Eventually, they reach the underworld's palace, and No Ming says all that's left is to start his reincarnation trial. But when the king pushes open the massive doors, No Ming's jaw drops because instead of doom and gloom he sees a straight-up green forest. Like bro, the place looks more like a vacation resort now. Naturally, No Ming flips out. Tulbo was supposed to run this dump. But that idiot is gone in the tar pit of agony. Yeah, it's now a soup pot. Rainwater everywhere, everything peaceful, and Tulbo missing in action. No Ming tells the king to turn back, cause this paradise isn't his zone. But our stubborn boy refuses. He wants reincarnation with every fiber of his being. No Ming snaps, raging that reincarnation is off the table, but the king insists he earned it. He worked for centuries, so why should some lazy screw-up hold him back from a second life? Just then, No Ming yells at him to dodge. Too late, a divine strike slams down and boom, God himself pulls up. And get this, God wants him to track down Tulbo. He mumbles something bossy, which our boy hates, but the deal is clear. No reincarnation, just fetch quest unlocked. Oh, and God casually adds, I'm retired by the way, like some boomer dropping mic. With that, the divine being slowly shuts the cosmic gate he opened, returning to his realm without a care. But before it shuts, our boy teleports in and forces it wide open. He's not leaving. If reincarnation is on the line, he'll find Tulbo, and one day he swears God's gonna pay. Next thing, he's blasted through the gate and dropped into the skies above a city. But when he lands, everything's burning. People are fleeing in chaos and from the flames. The dead crawl out. Yup, these bastards escaped the underworld. One of them snatches a little girl, ready to chow down on her. But our man blitzes in, yeets the zombie away and saves her. Still, the stench of blood everywhere makes his stomach turn. He curses, wasn't the underworld torture enough for their pea-sized brains? Now they're committing fresh sins right in front of him, unforgivable. Souls are supposed to repent after punishment, that's the rule. But the fact they crawled up here, Yamra can't believe the audacity. Not that the dead care, they can't hear reason anyway. Fine then, he'll do it the old school way, smash them into a second death. He keeps ripping through them until a tiny corpse appears and stands before him. Yamra goes full berserk, smashing its skull into the dirt non-stop. Maybe violence is the only language they understand. No Ming asks if he's okay, but Yamra's already eyeing his next target. The horde parts like curtains and from the fire. Walks in a freak holding a human head with the creepiest grin. His aura is insane, bloodlust so thick you can smell it. But Yamra's not backing down, his decision is final. The monster hurls his weapon again, then casually picks it up and throws it again, like a bugged-out video game. Yamra knows that should be impossible. And yet his so-called successor let this madness slide. So fine, Yamra's gonna play janitor and burn every sinner he finds. He swings with a glowing strike that tears into the undead. Then again and again, dude's going full spam combo. Cracking his neck, Yamra steps forward, plants his boot on the corpse, and demands to know why this freak slaughtered so many for reincarnation. But suddenly, the undead claws out of the rubble and counterattacks. For someone absorbing this much vitality, he's still moving like a beast. Even worse, more corpses rise from below. They slam Yamra's head into the ground over and over, cackling like maniacs the whole time. But when Yamra stops laughing, he flips it, mocking them with "not funny anymore, huh." Then he climbs atop a burning building, glaring down. The moon above glows crimson, reflecting his fury. The undead kneel, bowing before their true king. And now he declares their sins one by one. Escape, chaos, and hurting humans. All grave crimes, no exceptions. So the verdict, 700 years for chaos, 2,000 for escape, and a whopping 10,000 if you harmed humans. With judgment set, he opens a portal to their prison. They hesitate, the place looks lush and peaceful. But Yamra barks at them to get in now. He doesn't care if it looks like paradise. Kicking them through, he makes the announcement. Their job is landscaping duty, ripping every single green thing out by hand. Enjoy. As the portal closes, one dead tries to speak. Yamra slams it shut in his face. Noming wonders what it was about, but Yamra shrugs, probably some BS like "I'll work hard." And then Noming casually drops that even more of the dead have been sneaking out earlier. Yamra hears that some corpses already dipped and he's like, "Wait, why am I only finding this out now? Whatever, where'd they run off to?" Noming shrugs and says, "Oh yeah, they went to a school, because why not?" Inside that school, we see a woman with a bunch of terrified students trying to escape. But the hallway's completely jammed with corpses, no exit speedrun here. The woman Li Jiawu, a legit grave digger, tells them they'll have to find another path. One brat complains they're all gonna die while the spoiled girl sneers, "Aren't you a grave digger? Why so weak?" She roasts her harder, saying real gravediggers have freaky powers, but this one looks like a regular teacher on parent-teacher night. Ju calmly explains she hasn't gotten a corpse robe yet, but promises she'll still protect them. Too bad their bickering draws attention, because a few corpses instantly notice them on the stairs. Ju tells the kids to keep climbing while she squares up with a single undead. It shoves her back a bit, but as another student pushes open a door, she boots the corpse away and shouts for them to keep moving. She'll catch up once she's done handling business. But of course, the spoiled girl screws everything up and gets grabbed by a corpse mid-climb. The thing can barely haul itself up the stairs, but it's still about to chow down. Honestly, if it ate her, humanity might thank it, but nope. Ju throws herself into harm's way and takes the bite instead. The pain is brutal, but she uses it to kick the corpse away. Then she turns to the brat, asking if she's alright. The girl smacks her hand aside, yelling, "Don't touch me, I almost died cause of you." And she even has the audacity to ask, "How are you even a grave digger?" Ju is pissed, sure, but deep down she's just glad the girl isn't hurt. She rushes to slam the door shut and lock it. Corpses pound against it non-stop, making one student panic about it breaking. Another student jokes they better hope whoever built that door was cracked at carpentry. Ju ignores the noise and fires a flare into the sky. She reassures everyone her superior will show up soon, so they just need to wait. But one kid snaps at her, asking how she can laugh while they're in danger. He warns if they die here, the whole nation is doomed. Real drama king moment. Ju is floored by how stupid that sounds. Then the spoiled girl piles on, saying Ju is useless and almost got her killed. Oh, and flexing that her dad's rich and won't like hearing she got hurt. That's when Yamra finally walks in, calling out, "Damn, spoiled brats sure love running their mouths." The girl immediately claps back, demanding who he is and how he even got here. Yamra tries to say he's the king of the underworld, but every time thunder booms and cuts him off. He knows it's God trolling him, but the brat thinks he's just crazy. Another student even slaps his chest, demanding how he dares talk to Celio like that. Does he even know who she is? Yamra ignores the sass and explains he's here chasing the stench of corpses, and yep, the blood smell is everywhere. He even heard their voices from below, so he just jumped up here. The kids laugh at him, mocking him as some beggar larping as a fighter. Noming asks if he should just smoke them, but Yamra says nah, they're just kids. He adds it's really their parents' fault for raising spoiled monsters. When those parents die, then he'll punish them in hell. Of course, that triggers one hot-headed student, who rages at Yamra for insulting strangers. Ju tries to calm things down, but the kid shoves her aside and tells her to shut up. She gets slapped and Yamra notices she's been bitten already. He wonders if she'll even last until help arrives. Plus, something about her face looks oddly familiar. Before he can dwell on it, the pissed-off student steps up, ready to flex. He brags that if his dad ever went to hell, Yamra himself would cry and apologize non-stop. Hearing King of the Underworld, Yamra just bursts out laughing. He tries to hold it in, but nope, it's too hilarious. The student shouts, demanding what's so funny. He declares he'll beat Yamra down and let Daddy handle everything like always. No Ming warns him to stop, but the brat ignores it. He throws a punch, but ends up burning his own hand. The Jade Emperor himself steps in, trying to keep the peace. But No Ming sighs, it's already too far gone. Jiu jumps in front of Yamra, yelling at him to dodge instead of standing there. She coughs blood but still insists she'll protect him. The arrogant student rages harder. Now she's making him look like the villain, so he'll teach her a lesson. But Yamra sees a sinner in front of him, and his kingly instincts take over. The student screams for him to let go, saying it hurts and threatening to kill him. Yamra calmly tells him killing isn't as easy as he thinks, shocking the kid and Jiu alike. He squeezes until the brat's hand turns purple, then finally releases him. The kid puffs up, swearing he'll kill Yamra and tattle to his dad. He claims even the dead won't touch him cause he's too filthy. Yamra's stunned this idiot still hasn't learned anything. Honestly, he's no better than the corpses, they only understand pain. Violence is the only language for sinners, and it's been that way since forever. He picks up a wooden stick, wipes it clean, and says he'll even give it a name. He asks if anything comes to mind. The student just stares, confused. Yamra grins, saying yep, it really does. Then smacks the brat's backside with it. Lesson 1 delivered. His sentence, a beating with Harry Potter's wand. Yamra keeps thrashing him with the stick, making the kid scream bloody murder. No Ming is absolutely shook by his master's actions. And the other kids just gape, speechless at the madness unfolding. Yamra looks like a total maniac while doing it, which doesn't help his image. Finally, when the brat's butt is glowing red, he asks if that's enough to straighten him out. He warns that if not, he'll come back and smack him again with Harry Potter. Suddenly, the spoiled girl screams. Undead are climbing the building in a giant zombie tower. She panics about what to do, but Jiu steps in front to shield her. Jiu orders everyone to go down, she'll hold them off. The girl refuses, saying too many are waiting below. Jiu clarifies, nope, all the corpses are climbing here. This is their only chance to escape. The students hustle and Jiu tells Yamra to go with them too, she'll handle the fight. Yamra notes he's met countless people but none like her. Why risk everything for ungrateful kids who insult and ignore her? These brats don't deserve her kindness, yet she sacrifices herself anyway. Jiu bonks him on the head, saying he talks way too much for a boy. Better shut it and head down before things get worse. Yamra realizes she's truly unpredictable. But one thing's certain, this woman won't die a meaningless death. He prepares to unleash his technique. He knows he has to find Tulbo regardless. But when he says this, someone scoffs. Palmer asks how he can think about that now, while the Jade Emperor flatly says he doesn't care if she dies. Meanwhile, the students slam the door shut behind them, leaving Yamra and Jiu outside. The brat who got spanked gloats that Yamra will get eaten alive. He says Yamra should never have laughed at him, now he'll die with that useless woman. Yamra's patience snaps and he orders No Ming to handle it. Yamra casually tells Noman to deal with them, and his little sidekick is way too eager to obey. Suddenly, one of the corpses lunges straight at Yamra. But before it can touch him, Jiuwu jumps in and shields him like she's got a death wish. She gets bitten over and over, yet refuses to back down. Yamra just stares, completely baffled, like seriously, why is she going this far? Jiuwu simply throws it back at him. Does she even need a reason to protect people? That line smacks him harder than any corpse could, leaving Yamra unexpectedly touched. All around them, the dead are running wild, and decent people like her keep getting chewed up. Meanwhile, the so-called gears keep blocking him instead of helping, because priority's right. Yamra gets it, this is all to keep God's rules intact, and fine, most of them make sense. But his negligence has caused way too much pain, and he refuses to just watch innocents suffer. With one devastating strike, he burns every corpse in sight, and casually offers Jiuwu a job opportunity. Naturally, the Jade Emperor tries to cut him off, but Yamra's done listening. Instead, he keeps sweetening the deal, huge paycheck, full benefits, you name it. Heck, she can take unlimited vacations, and even reincarnate as a spoiled rich princess when she retires. Basically, he's recruiting her to work in place of God, no pressure. Half-conscious, Jiuwu mumbles that it actually sounds like a pretty solid gig. Yamra kneels beside her, shocked she still has strength left, and lays her down gently. She checks her wounds and realizes the bleeding is far too severe, this is the endgame. She quietly accepts maybe they'll meet again in the next life. But Yamra refuses. How could he let her die after literally inviting her to the team? So he pulls her into a calm, white realm born from his own underworld power. He notes she's the first human to ever enter here with her body fully intact. Jiuwu can't believe it. Wait, did he just say this is literally the underworld? But after walking around, she realizes this place is no illusion. And her wounds practically gone, yeah, this is a golden chance. So she boldly asks to make her employment official, but also, what's his name again? Yamra shrugs it off, saying it's nothing special, just the king of the freakin' underworld. But she can call him Yamra if that makes things less awkward. Naturally, Jiuwu is floored. Standing before the king of the underworld isn't your everyday experience. He snaps her out of it by asking her name, which she finally gives. Then he ties his hairband around her arm, declaring she's now basically divine. She'll never age, never die, and never share a quiet life with family. Immortality, baby. But Jiawoo's more concerned that it's cute, asking what this ribbon even is. Yamra tries to answer, but then the skies suddenly flare blood red. He explains that what she's holding is the literal thread of fate. If she ever loses it, she won't survive here for a second. She nervously asks if they'll be separated without it, and he flat out confirms it. Yeah, as in she'd get decapitated instantly, no big deal. Then she suddenly wakes back in reality. Her colleague Minyu is desperately shaking her awake. The guy nearly bursts into tears when she finally opens her eyes. While he rambles on, Jiwoo's mind drifts back to Yamra and what just happened. She asks how she got here, and Minyu explains they responded to her emergency signal. Thanks to that, casualties were kept low, they're mopping up corpses even now. Jiwoo quickly asks about the students, and Minyu reassures her they're all safe. But here's the weird part, some of them were covered in a strange, sticky residue like something licked them. Jiwoo is stunned, and even Minyu admits it sounds ridiculous. But as he talks, she looks down at her hand. Yep, the thread of fate is still there. Which means everything with Yamra was real, so now what? Just then, Park shows up and asks if she's okay. Jiwoo politely thanks her for the concern. But Park immediately snaps, saying she only asked because of Jiwoo's ability. And don't even think about being late for work tomorrow, no matter what just happened. As always, Jiwoo bows her head and accepts the abuse. Minyu steps in, patting her shoulder, telling her not to take Park's trash talk seriously. She really was worried sick, and rushed here the second she heard Jiwoo might be in danger. Jiwoo doubts that it's probably just work-related, but Minyu isn't convinced. Soon after, she's escorted into a taxi, and Minyu wishes her a peaceful night. In the car, Jiwoo thinks about the kids she saved. Relieved they're safe, but her eyes land on the thread again, lose it, and it's game over. Out of nowhere, No Ming pops up beside her, making her scream so loud the driver panics. She nervously covers it by saying she saw a bug, then whispers, who's this weird little ball? No Ming cheerfully introduces himself as Yamra's advisor. And no, regular humans can't see him, so stop trying to act polite, it's cringe. She asks where Yamra is, and No Ming says he's with those bratty students. Jiwoo immediately remembers Yamra's unique disciplinary methods. So she tells the driver to step on it, double pay if he drives faster. Meanwhile, in some giant corporate building, Yamra's already sizing it up. He wonders how many seconds it would take to knock the whole place down. As he approaches the doors, he notices a man walking through with suspicious behavior. Another guy warns him he's about to walk into glass, but Yamra just shoves through with brute force, shattering the highest grade glass in the country. Everyone around is terrified, no normal man could have done that. Yamra doesn't care, he just demands they hand over the sinners immediately. Naturally, they scatter like cockroaches. Except for one strange woman who doesn't flinch at all. In fact, she seems delighted by his overwhelming aura. Could this really be the king of the underworld? Yamra notices her pausing for the first time. Then suddenly, he teleports in front of her without anyone realizing. He stares at her with genuine confusion. She can tell instantly who he is, but wonders why he's glaring so intensely. She asks if something's wrong, and he just points, asking who she is. The woman chuckles, saying his forgetful nature hasn't changed one bit. He still can't remember faces, so she'll reintroduce herself. Her name is Bikwu, and once she too lived in the underworld. But her words are cut off when that same bratty boy orders lackeys to bring him something. They warn it's not smart, but he doesn't care, they'd better obey. Yamra's ready to pounce, but Bikwu holds him back. She asks him to wait and think before blowing this whole place apart. Is punishing that brat really so important right this second? Yamra answers without hesitation, yes, it absolutely is. He knows mortal judges and cops turn blind eyes, drowning in greed and corruption. But as king of the underworld, he cannot ignore sin. Punishment is absolute. Too many people have suffered because of that boy, and justice has to land. Bikwu, shocked by his resolve, lets him go. Yamra instantly teleports right in front of the bratty student. The kid nearly faints. He left him trapped on a rooftop full of corpses. But Yamra reminds him he already warned him, and since he hasn't learned a thing, yeah, it's time for another Harry Potter-style beatdown. Biku's like, wait, did I hear that right, or am I losing brain cells? But before she can even process it, our boy drops to his knees and starts begging like his life, on speedrun mode. The staff finally call the guards, who by the way weren't even at the damn entrance, and sick them on Yamra. All of them look like they're about to get a one-way ticket straight back to hell. But Bikwu just raises her hand like a teacher shutting down a noisy classroom and tells them to back off. Relax, he's not an enemy. Instantly, the guards retreat like NPCs after failing a side quest. Yamra's actually shook at the kind of respect this woman commands here. It's some Thor-tier influence. She must be a top-tier leader, but seriously, who the hell is she? Meanwhile, the so-called student aka Yamra's own master uses the chaos to dip, which ticks Yamra off big time. But one of the young master's bodyguards blocks him, dropping the bomb. This brat is the son of President Kang. Yamra's like, okay, and why should I care? The guy explains like it's some anime flex. The Kang Sung Group is the third largest conglomerate in Korea. The boys got business world plot armor stronger than anyone else. Yamra deadpans again, cool story bro, still not relevant. At this point the guard realizes our boy's too dense for corporate talk. So he goes full MMA mode, grabs Yamra, and tries to slam him into the wall. Spoiler, it doesn't work. He's struggling, sweating, going full Dragon Ball charge up, but Yamra doesn't even twitch. Yamra asks if the guy really thinks a rich kid's bloodline makes him worth protecting. Like, bro, are you dumb? Meanwhile, the bodyguard's realizing he might have just pissed off a whole beast. Yamra shuts him down with, money ain't power bro, stop spewing trash and go back to your corner. But now this dude thinks influence gives him a free crime pass. This is basically like those weak sentence reductions IRL, but sadly for him, wrong genre, wrong world, zero perks here. The bodyguard snaps back, don't think you're untouchable, I know how to use power too. Then my guy rips his shirt off like it's a WWE entrance. He transforms into steel, literally Iron Fist mode, granting him cracked speed and power. He launches a double strike that connects clean. Even pushes hard enough to send Yamra flying across the room. Thinking he's won, this clown starts flexing his ability to absolutely nobody, because his ego's that fragile. That's when Bikwu drops the truth bomb. Not only are you a loser, you're also a certified idiot. Oh, and yeah, maybe check behind you. Too late, the bodyguard turns just in time to eat a fist to the face. Yamra notes, okay, credit where it's due, he's tougher than expected. The bodyguard stunned he's still standing, but swears he won't let Yamra get back up. He throws every combo he's got, but Yamra dodges casually like he's Neo in the Matrix. Then wonders out loud why this dude's rocking a shroud. Humans really do invent the dumbest gimmicks. Bored out of his mind, Yamra just face kicks him. Then follows it up with a clean flying kick to the jaw, full Tekken finisher. He declares Judgment Day. The man's first punishment is surviving this punch. Though fair warning, it might snap his neck. The bodyguard finally admits it, he's outclassed in every possible way. Strength, speed, everything, who even is this guy? One thing as for sure, this ain't a normal human. Yamra slams the dude's head into the ground like an ostrich hiding from tax season. Bikwu's not surprised, but she notices something's off. He feels weaker than usual. Then Yamra straight up asks her, why do humans wear shrouds, garments of the dead? Mortals shouldn't touch that. She brushes it off, chill, it's just protection. She explains it's been over 20 years since the dead first showed up, and back then humans were basically helpless. Yamra asks if they can't just fight without shrouds. Bikwu explains the harsh truth, humans are baby weak compared to the dead. Crossing the Styx, they get mauled by monsters, chased for centuries, crushed under weights no mortal could lift. The worse a sinner was in life, the stronger they are in death, serving longer and stacking insane power-ups. But some of the dead actually repented and handed their shrouds to humans. That's how humanity finally stood a chance. Most became gravitiggers fighting the dead, others, they go selfish mode like this clown bodyguard. Yamra makes that dumb confused face again, so Noman cuts in. Look, shrouds were inevitable, don't overthink it. Because clearly, Yamra and explanations do not mix. Noman casually drops it's been like 300 years, but Yamra's confused why she acts like they're old buddies. He even asks if she's been sneaking into the human world. Noman's shook he doesn't recognize her, while Bikwu's notes it has been ages. Still, Yamra doesn't get it and just assumes she's a normal human. Bikwu sighs and asks who this mystery woman really is. Turns out it's Jumu, and Bikwu's shocked she's a human and a gravedigger at that. What the hell's she doing here? Noman says it's a long story, but right now she's stuck in the same mess as them. Bikwu tries to pretty her up, but Yamra cuts in, saying she doesn't need it. Since she's been working God's shift anyway, maybe Bikwu's should just reveal her true identity. Could even land her a divine gig. Bikwu's finally explains. She's the 12th honorary sign Axis, and her role was basically divine assistant manager. They move into another room, and Bikwu's admits she has no clue how hell got like this. She just poofed in, teleported without warning. Yamra asks about Tulbo, but she doesn't know. That makes him snap, he really thought he'd finally found that bastard. Bikwu's apologizes, but Yamra shrugs it off, saying this is more about Tio than anyone else. Still, he can't stop wondering how things spiraled this far. He hasn't confirmed Tulbo's fate, but given the chaos, maybe Tulbo set this whole mess up himself, which is a terrifying thought. Bikwu's figures he's missing pieces, so she's been hustling non-stop and hands him a crucial document. Yamra's impressed she's seriously good at this and jokingly offers her a divine workplace job. She declines but gets why he wouldn't want it either. She changes the subject to Jiawoo since she hasn't seen her around. Yamra explains Jiawoo's on her very first mission, and it shouldn't take long. Right now she's literally chasing the young master through the city with a magic wand, looking like a maniac. Before that, Yamra had given her his wand, and she begged him to stop thinking about smacking that student himself. He reminded her she almost died because of that punk, so he's letting her get payback instead. She agreed, asked how the wand works, but Yamra got dragged away mid-explanation by Bikuyus. So the task's basically, swing this wand and yell magic words, that's it. And yep, she's out there screaming phrases like burn the sinner, while the student books it faster than ever. The only problem, it's cringe as hell and she's dying of embarrassment. Now she gets why that other woman was roasting her earlier. Too flustered to watch where she's going, she bumps into someone and apologizes like 50 times. The guy turns and oh, it's Park. He immediately scolds her for ignoring doctor's orders to rest. She bows her head apologizing, but Park pulls her aside. There's no time for this. He needs her help now. She asks what she has to do. And just as he's about to explain, a shady figure with a creepy grin struts down the street. Park reveals this is the target. They need to take him down at any cost. But charging in won't work. The guy's a pro at slipping away. So the plan is shadow him and wait for a clean opening. Ju notices he keeps scanning the area, so Park explains he's patrolling like some mob boss's watchdog. Maybe this dude's a subordinate, maybe not, but he's definitely involved. Sadly, the runaway student bumps into the undead, and Park bolts to intercept. Even with Ju's speed, she's just a step too late. The undead smacks him with a heavy strike, sending him flying into a pile of trash. Yep, the dumpster arc. Park praises Ju's quick reflexes and charges back into the fight. Determined not to screw up twice, she swears this one's paying for his sins. She activates her mantle stigma of the scholar and slams him with a hammer so massive it yeets the undead away. Then orders Jiawoo to evacuate civilians and call backup immediately. He agrees but makes her promise to hold the line no matter what. Park warns her to hurry since her stigma isn't meant for combat. But to her absolute horror, the supposedly dead guy just shrugs it off like it was nothing and gets right back up. She knows hesitation here means death, so she forces herself to dodge like her life depends on it. Because yeah, it actually does. Trading blows, she inches her way out of his attack radius, playing it slow and smart. Except plot twist, this zombie bro wasn't even focused on her. He was eyeing her weapon like it was prime loot in a battle royale. Then he flips the script by making her all floaty and weightless, stealing her footing. He sneaks in a solid punch, though she still smacks him with her hammer on the way down. Sadly, her hammer hit feels about as effective as a wet noodle, 0 damage, no cap. Park realizes if she doesn't touch solid ground soon, her attacks will be nerfed, and she'll be completely cooked. That's when this undead freak busts out his own mantle, because of course he's got DLC powers. Phantom arms grab Park and ragdoll her against the walls like she's stuck in a pinball machine, before leaving her wedged inside one. But right as things look grim, someone slams into him hard. It's our boy Jiawoo making his heroic entrance. Park blurts out that this isn't your average undead, since the dude can literally use mantles. And yet Jiawoo, being the clown she is, only bothered to call one ally. Genius move. Chu ducks another strike and flexes, saying they won't die here. Well, at least not in this lifetime. Classic anime tough talk. Park side-eyes like, what kind of nonsense is this girl even saying? But she can't deny Jiawoo's movements are sharper, more precise. Maybe that glowing red aura thing really is some kind of mantle. Their relentless hits wound the undead, but he's officially done playing around. He crouches low, prowling, circling Jewel like a predator. Park warns her straight up, he's about to unleash something nasty. Jiawoo scans wildly for the invisible menace, but the reveal comes quick. He smacks her from behind, leaving her barely able to block. Turns out he's running a hit-and-run strat, vanishing after each strike so she has to keep guessing. Listening to the wind, she gambles on a rear attack and looks back. But nope, he's at her side and lands a clean blow anyway. Poof, vanished again, leaving Jewel spinning around like she's lost in an FPS with no minimap. To make it worse, that little bell hanging from his ear is messing with her senses on purpose. Still, Jewel pushes through, bracing as Park suddenly yells about an incoming strike from 3 o'clock. And sure enough, Jiawoo dodges perfectly, something the undead clearly doesn't appreciate. Jewel asks how Park knew and Park flexes. It's her mantle, the enigma of the scholar. Anything she lands a hit on stays locked in her vision forever. Park promises to guide Jiawoo's every move. All she has to do is trust her. Jiawoo agrees instantly, even closing her eyes to prove her trust like it's some cheesy shoujo scene. Park's touch for 0.2 seconds before screaming, "Are you trying to die?" Because who does that mid-fight? Jewel apologizes, admitting she's been watching way too many movies. Park reminds her this is real combat, not a training montage. She immediately calls out the undead's next position. And with every warning, Jiuwu keeps landing strikes. Blow after blow connects, forcing the undead to eat damage non-stop. Soon it looks less like a fight and more like a straight-up one-sided beatdown. Watching from afar is a strange guy, disciple John Yuchi. He mutters he never expected Grey Vigor users these days to be this cracked. But since he's the one who sent this undead on patrol, guess he's gotta interfere. Can't let a rare talent like this rot, plus he doesn't feel like getting scolded by that person. So he steps in, politely asking the girls to stop pummeling his friend. Jumu instantly glares and demands answers, but Park stops her. This is the big shot she mentioned earlier, John Yuchi. He's confused why she called him a big shot when he looks like he skipped gym day forever. But hey, recognition's recognition. He politely asks to take his undead buddy back, saying stealth-capable dead are rare treasures. Yeah, sounds sus, I know. But before he can finish, Park plants her hammer in his face. She coldly declares they don't negotiate with corpses. She warns Jiuwu to stay back. If dead ones are talking like this, it means they've massacred countless humans to reach this level of intelligence. He smirks at her deduction, but mocks her weakness for even standing before him. Jiuwu cries out for Park, right as Yuchi slams her to the ground. He's honestly shocked the girl still has fight left after watching her mentor get brutalized. Admirable, sure, but he says he despises people like her the most. He calls upon the sin of Juror, summoning a monstrous tornado that slashes Ju repeatedly. Yuchi laughs like a Saturday morning cartoon villain, asking if she still dares to resist. Why risk your life for some old woman, he sneers, when you could run and live young. Typical humans, pathetic cowards who only ever think about themselves. To him, everyone's just animals with no care for anyone else's life. Convinced she'll run, he wraps up the attack. But instead of fleeing, Jiuwu stands firm, and that pisses him off even more. She actually chooses to shield the wounded woman despite having an escape route. He demands to know why, but she doesn't bother answering, which infuriates him further. Nobody does this anymore, he insists. Altruism is a scam in this era. But Jewel calmly declares two things. She doesn't need a reason to save someone, and he just committed a sin. At those words, Yuchi feels a chilling instinct to not even breathe. The protagonist's voice thunders, "You have sinned and you cannot even look my way." Gripping his talisman, Yuchi braces for the nightmare to come. Yamura rushes to Jiuwu's side, worried she's bleeding out. She claims she's fine but insists they need to save Park first. Park's breaths are faint and even her cloak is flickering away. Yamura waves his hand, surrounding them in his domain like some final boss arena. He assures Jiuwu not to worry, he's here now. She feels genuine gratitude for her terrifying yet kind employer, while Yamura privately thinks he must have looked badass just now. Too bad his cool moment gets interrupted by No Ming barging in, yelling. Apparently, loudmouths deserve punishment and he's here to deliver it. Yuchi watches, realizing this guy isn't nearly as important as he first thought. He tries warning Yamura that his antics will cost him. But Yamura just yeets him across the battlefield mid-sentence. He sneers that even breathing in this man's presence is a waste of oxygen. Uche, frustrated, asks if Yamura had already forgiven him earlier. So why fight now? Yamura calmly replies Uche was never even on his radar. His only concern was protecting the victims, but now he's got free time. Naturally, Yamura's attack pierces right through Yuchi's mantle with ease. Yuchi staggers back, but Yamura isn't about to stop at one strike. He bulldozes forward, shoulder slamming him with brutal force. In desperation, Uche activates the 8 Gates of Folly, his last-ditch trump card. Yamura doesn't move, tricking Uche into thinking he trapped him, sealing him in a cutting dimension. Uche mocks him, saying Yamura's like an empty cart, loud but worthless. He summons a devastating power, claiming his total victory. But suddenly the ability fizzles out, gone completely. Because what Yamura wields isn't just a cloak, it's literal hellfire. Flames that devour every sinner, growing stronger the darker their sins. Uche is frozen in disbelief, while Yamura calmly offers him some advice. He launches his divine attack, and though Yuchi stubbornly retaliates, throwing seals and swords desperately, the assault doesn't stop. No matter what he throws out, nothing can counter Yamura's overwhelming flames. Bro is seriously trying to put out literal hellfire with some dollar store wind magic, like blowing on a volcano. Even when he stalls it for half a second and tries to slip away, Yamura just appears out of nowhere and decks him with a punch. Uche had apparently forgotten this monster can still just punch things, which honestly doesn't shock No Ming at all. But credit where it's due, No Ming already moved the humans to safety, so Yamura doesn't have to stress. Oh, and he also snagged the woman's magic staff, which earns him instant good boy points from his boss. Yamura calls him reliable, but No Ming can't resist roasting him for being scatterbrained. Yamura immediately asks if he's looking to get replaced. Meanwhile, Yuchi's out here thinking, this is my only chance, and tries to run for it while the two are busy chatting. His whole plan is to warn that higher up about Yamra, so they can all dodge this nightmare like he's the raid boss nobody wants to pull. Unfortunately, Yamra catches him mid-flee, crunches him down, and demands where exactly he thinks he's going. Pride gone, Yuchi drops to his knees begging, claiming it was all just a little mistake. He prays Yamra will buy his act, but instead, Yamra decides it's story time. Once upon a time, a grieving mother who lost her son descended into hell itself. The king of hell asked why, and she said it was because her son had died. When asked who was to blame, she pointed the finger at him. After all, it was the king's war and famine that killed her boy. But the underworld ruler already knew the truth. And in reality, her choices made her the sinner. That day he realized sinners never change. When they're cornered, they lie through their teeth instead of admitting guilt. They hate the thought of getting hit with the same pain they deal out. They're irritating trash, and that's exactly why hell exists. Yamra declares that as the king of the underworld, he bows to no one. Desperate, Uchi summons a flashy move, Wind Dragon, to try and scratch him. But Yamra's already in the middle of delivering divine judgment. This sinner doesn't even know shame, honor, or remorse. Dude's a hollow shell. Which is why Yamra announces he'll erase his reincarnation permanently. Power surges through his staff as he activates Soul Bonsai, first form, Woken. With one clean strike, he slices Uchi in half, erasing every single one of his lives in an instant. Noming watches as Uchi's body and soul vanish, thinking it's been ages since he saw something like this. The sheer force cracks Yamra's staff into pieces. But hey, it was literally just a stick off the ground anyway. The real power came from him alone, no gimmicks needed. With business finished, Yamra casually suggests they should relax after such a long day awake. Their chill spot, Jewel's apartment, where she immediately questions if he really came just to relax. Yamra tells her to sit tight and get comfy. He might be her boss, but no need to be uptight. Jewel sarcastically agrees, reminding herself that of course she should feel at ease in her own house. I mean, why would the homeowner feel awkward, right? Yamra plays innocent and calls her clever for pointing it out. Naturally, Jewel catches the mockery but can't clap back unless she wants to lose her paycheck. Instead, she suggests he freeload at Biku's mansion instead. But Yamra refuses, saying it's better to stay in a subordinate's place than mooch off a stranger. Jewel glares, pretty sure that logic also applies to this exact situation, while Shira Linson offers to find him an apartment. Yamra mishears one word as fart and bursts into childish laughter, which Jewel immediately calls him out on. Fed up, she insists he needs his own space and promises to find him a studio nearby. Yamra admits he doesn't even know what a studio is, but if she's really uncomfortable, he'll go, no hard feelings. He starts to leave but casually asks if there are any sinners nearby he can go punish for fun. Jewel instantly shuts him down, knowing full well what punishment means in his hands. He doesn't get why she's so against it. Sinners deserve punishment, period. Jewel fires back that his methods are completely unhinged, but Yamra swears he can be gentle. Which is hilarious because literally nobody believes that. To prove her point, Jewel tosses him a test case. There's an old lady nearby with a bad illness. One day she littered by dropping trash on the roadside and left it there. What would Yamra do? Without missing a beat, he says she belongs in a boiling cauldron, which makes Jewel scream in outrage, sparking a full-on argument. Their bickering escalates like a cat-and-dog fight while Noming just sighs, stuck babysitting these two disasters. Eventually, Yamra hands Jewel a glass of water to calm her down. But when she takes it, she realizes it's bright blue, like glowing Gatorade blue. She asks where he even got it, and Yamra thinks she's just picking another fight, so Noming answers. He says they pulled it from a well. Jewel panics immediately while Yamra cracks a dumb pun about living well. She dashes to the bathroom and nearly faints when she sees the toilet spitting out the same cursed blue water. Yamra and Noming stroll in just as she explains the water here isn't drinkable. Standing dramatically on the toilet, she keeps ranting while Yamra spirals into despair over what he's just ingested, until both he and Noming collapse in sync on the floor. After this clown show disaster, Yamra gets pajamas and straight up cries over it. Jewel brings him actual water and says since things are already this messy, she'll just take care of him, they might as well live together. Yamra is blindsided by her sudden kindness and gets all embarrassed. But of course she adds a condition, double her salary. Yamra studies her face. She reminds him of someone he once knew, someone who longed to be reborn human. He suddenly asks if she's descended from a god. Jewel just stares, what do you even mean by that? He insists it's simple and demands an answer, but Noming steps in, exhausted by his nonsense. He reminds Yamra that he's always been forgetful. Maybe he's just mixing Jewel up with someone else. Yamra denies it, swearing he can sense divine remnants inside her. Noming presses him, maybe he's thinking of Kangrim, who is nothing like this mortal girl. Does he even remember her voice? Yamra claims he'd never forget, but his silence says otherwise, and Noming knows he actually has. Still, he doesn't hold it against him. Yamra's always been like this, but the woman before him is Ju Wu, not Kangrim. Later that night after dinner, the three of them end up in bed together. Yamra sits happily on a blanket he's grown attached to, never experienced something like this before. He admits humans are really living well these days, and he's low-key jealous. Jewel and Noming agree, praising even the simple food she cooked. They struggle to recall the soup's name until they settle on Mr. Kim's soup. Yamra hadn't realized humans casually ate food packed with the joys and sorrows of some dude named Kim. Jewel's face twists in horror. She served kimchi soup, not Mr. Kim. After some more chatter, they tuck Jewel in bed since she must be exhausted, which totally throws her off. Yamra just tells her to relax. It's not every day the King of Hell tucks you in. After putting a face mask on her, Yamra and Noming sneak off toward the kitchen, but she warns them. If they even think about stealing meat, she'll know. Their faces drop instantly, proving she caught them red-handed. Jewel recalls the insane journey so far. She literally met Yamra and got dragged to hell twice. Strangely enough, even her wounds healed while she was down there. Noming explains humans get buffs in the underworld, though Yamra notes the opposite happens for the dead. Jewel wonders if working alongside him might let her meet someone who's already passed away. Yamra stands, asking why she's so desperate to see the dead. She finally admits it's her parents. She couldn't protect them, and that regret still crushes her. Noming immediately says it's impossible, she's human. But when he tries to push her to give up, Yamra slaps him so hard he faints. Jewel freaks out, demanding why he did that, but Yamra says calmly that Noming's just sleeping. Except his soul literally starts drifting out of his body, leaving Jewel terrified all over again. And she's like, see, that's exactly what I meant. So our guy, being all smooth, says since she's got that generous heart of gold personality, he's got a little proposal. Basically, if she helps enough in the Tulbo search, he'll actually let her see her parents. Huge deal, no cap. Shagu is absolutely floored, like, bro, are you for real? You're actually promising that? Yamra confirms, and she instantly locks him in with, cool, now you can't back out. If you do, I'll drag your butt to hell. Yamra just shrugs, like, been there, done that, not that different. But she doesn't even care, already celebrating like she just hit a lottery ticket, with Noming's floating soul, no less. Yamra actually feels kinda warm inside seeing her that happy, but it also means he's gotta track down Tulbo ASAP if he wants to keep that promise. That's when Yuchi pipes up, bowing and admitting his alter ego got completely obliterated. On top of that, he's uncovered the name of the soul-hacking technique, solvents. And since there's literally only one dude he knows who can use that move, the culprit is obvious. Uche suggests sending some undead soldiers so he can clap that bastard Yamra once and for all. Except he doesn't even finish the sentence before getting instantly blown to bits. R.I.P. bro. Tulbo starts to say he was true, then summons some guy named Gai Unwu, ordering him to take the other dead and hurry the master plan. Because before Yama powers back up to 100%, the 12 Zodiacs need to strike and stop him. The Swordmaster of Daeamu nods, confirming he'll carry out the order. Cut to the next day, Jiuwu gets a super early phone call from Bikwu. She apologizes for ringing so soon but wants to check in on Yamra. Chu peeks in on him and finds the King of Hell barking at a tiny white puppy. Apparently white dogs ward off spirits, so yeah, man's taking it seriously. Jiuwu apologizes for interrupting and asks what Bikwu really wants. Bikwu says she just wanted to update Yamra on the new objective, meaning Jiuwu shouldn't go to work today unless it's helping him. And oh, one more thing, fix his dusty fashion sense. Dude's style is prehistoric. Which is why they're suddenly at the mall, giving Yamra a glow-up shopping spree. He's shocked Bikwu even thought of this, but honestly he can't deny these clothes are comfy. Human tech is just built different. Jua wonders if they're even heading the right way though, since he's walking toward a department store. But his armor confirms, yup, that's exactly what the note says. Jiuwu suddenly remembers Bikwu gave her that paper, but only now realizes there was writing on the back too. Girl really does live a frugal, scatterbrained life. Yamra chimes in, preaching about saving money and recycling since the environment's precious. Jiuwu did not expect the King of Hell to turn into Captain Planet, but she's still curious what kind of paper that is. Yamra casually explains it's just a ripped page from the death record book. You know, the one that logs every human's lifespan. Jiuwu knows this sacred tome, the Sang Subu, and freaks out. She demands how he could just rip a page from that holy text, but Yamra brushes it off like, you probably stuffed it in your pocket or whatever. She's about to lose her damn mind. What will people think if they see this? Yamra tells her to chill since humans can't even read it. According to the writing, they just need to find a certain creature in this area. And oh, also a celebrity. Jiuwu is ready to smack him, but first demands he explain instead of skipping ahead like an idiot. So Yamra does. The zodiac signs that crossed into this world needed jobs to survive. And one of them actually got recruited. He doesn't know the exact details, but Bikwu said that means celebrity. So yeah, they're showing up here thanks to their schedule. Chu asks which zodiac sign and Yamra drops it's the pig. Cut to Zerbik signing her back to Hai, who's mid-vomit. Classy. Suddenly her manager calls and immediately asks if she's actually brain dead. Like, didn't he tell her not to eat while recording? Yet she keeps stuffing her face on set over and over. Manager's fuming, girl, get it together, your image is on the line. She claims she threw it all up in the toilet anyway. Her mind fills with gloom as her manager actually praises her for it, and she convinces herself she's doing the right thing. But deep down she knows it's pathetic, still that's all she can do. Manager hangs up muttering, unbelievable, she did it again. The poor girl admits she can't control herself, basically living up to her pig sign. A delivery guy asks if he should drop off the clothes. Manager instantly flips her tone polite, recognizing him as a CH company employee and telling him to leave the clothes on the table. The boy leaves but can't help noticing her fake switch up. Then some dude who looks like he stepped out of a cannon asks what day it was again. But the manager, yeah, she's done, won't even entertain it. Cannon bro rants, what if her screw-ups get them kicked onto the streets again? Shouldn't someone call her out? He assures he won't let their money dry up while losing bets at the same time. Then he immediately says he's starving and they should go eat. Peak hypocrisy. As they head out, Dahab steps in front of them. The Canon notes with disappointment she ate again. Dahil apologizes, but he says it's fine as long as she doesn't repeat it. For now, she has to wait here while they eat. She gathers courage and begs for a little food too, promising she'll wait until after filming. Manager is floored by the audacity. Canon turns, asking if she really is a pig. Like, how many times must he say she has to stay thin for photos? Even one meal a day is too generous, yet they allow it anyway. She explains she's dizzy all the time, nearly fainting, and even the other actors got lunch. Canon mocks her like a clown, asking if she's saying he's the villain here. She denies it, but he grabs her, saying it hurts to see her like this. Doesn't she remember when they first met? He found her homeless, practically begging on the street. He gave her clothes, shelter, food, treated her like a person, only him. She apologizes, insisting she didn't mean it that way. Canon plays it off, saying everyone makes mistakes. It's normal for families to fight, right? Her eyes light up at the word family. They leave, telling her not to do anything dumb. But once out of earshot, they laugh at how easy she is to manipulate with just that one word. Still, Dahao skips happily in her ragged shoes, thrilled someone calls her family. Then boom, the atmosphere shifts. A towering figure starts speaking. He calls it tragic, a zodiac sign being treated like garbage by mere humans. But don't worry, he's here to free her from this circus. She's coming with him immediately because Tulbo summoned her. Dahir freaks, wait, what did you just say? Ivan clarifies. Tulbo summoned her, she needs to leave now. She's completely lost, how could Tulbo summon her? Aren't they all dead? Why isn't Tulbo telling her directly? Ivan casually admits, yeah, he's dead too, so what? Da refuses to go, she's part of a family now. Ivan is dumbfounded, like, you're calling those humans your real family. She insists it's obvious, they cared for her unlike Tulbo who abandoned her. They gave her shelter, a life, so yeah, she has every right to call them family. Ivan's patience runs thin, he heard she was dumb but this is next level. He grabs her tight, demanding if that treatment counts as care. Just look at her malnourished body. Who's really taking care of who here? She's being exploited because of her stupidity, and it's time to wake up as a zodiac sign. The only family she truly has is them. But Da still refuses to leave. Meanwhile, Canon and manager finish eating, casually chatting as they walk. That's when Jiu Wu pops up, asking Canon if he's Lai Yuden, CEO of SH Wine Entertainment. I'll keep calling him Canon though because he is. He confirms, yeah, that's him. Jiu Wu tries to question him. But Yamra suddenly cuts in, rudely asking if he's a pig. Jiu Wu immediately snaps at him, because wow, what a way to start a conversation. But Yamra, bro's still clueless. Man S asking the right question, but he's basically shouting into the void. Enter this guy, skin shinier than a McDonald's fryer, belly bigger than Bowser's castle wall, and a bald dome that screams cheap villain DLC. Basically, man's a pig emoji IRL. Jumu tries to tell him he's tripping, but nah, Pigzilla's rage meter is filling up. Because yup, our boy just straight up called him a pig to his face. Now he's demanding a replay like, say it again, I dare you. The manager's panicking, nah, he was calling you handsome bro, compliment no cap. But these two, already one bad insult away from going full WWE SmackDown. Manager's literally begging him to chill out, she can't let him get locked up again. Keyword again, El Mao. She's like, guys, just relax, you've eaten good, you're living good, can we not? But her nagging flips a switch, and suddenly Pigzilla's like, congrats, new target acquired. Meanwhile, in the waiting room, Dahai's low-key stress-eating and nail-biting, praying this whole circus doesn't implode. When the crew finally walks in, she jumps like she just saw her Uber arrive. She's got something urgent to say. But then, oh damn, she clocks the manager's bruised-up face and is like, hold up, what happened? She rushes over, but Pigzilla casually drops, yeah, I smacked her, she deserved it. And Dahai's like, wait, you really hit her, for real. But dude doubles down, calling it the natural order cause of course she was manipulating him. Bro, the gaslighting is insane. Dahai's panicking now, stressing over the manager like, what the hell do we even do? But Pigzilla's distracted by the food on her table. What's this? You think I'm blind? He stomps on it like a toddler tantrum, yelling, all you care about is eating like the glutton pig you are. Words hit her like daggers, but Dahai still rushes in, begging him to run. Because all this drama, yeah, it's the handiwork of some top-tier evil mastermind. She admits she's bad at explaining, but begs him to just trust her. She even calls him father, and boom, he slaps her down without hesitation. Don't you dare call me that, you damn pig, he roars. Bruh, straight up rejecting her like a bad soap opera dad. Then Ivan struts out of the back room like he's been waiting for his villain spotlight. This man's whole shtick: can't control his emotions, loves unleashing trauma on anyone within range, absolute menace. Dude's got enough sins to get a 10-season Netflix docuseries, but as he once told Dahai, trash like him could never be family material. He grabs Pigzilla's fat head like a melon and sneers, what did you think was gonna happen living like this? Spoiler, nothing but hell, eternal suffering bro, the full pathetic scum package. Then he turns to Dahai, I'll kill him now and you, time to give up those earthly cravings. He even threatens the manager, but oops, Jumu's already grabbed her, asking what the move is. At the same time, Yamra's shielding Dahai, shutting down questions like, not now. He reminds them, priority one is always the victims. Then he glares at Ivan, what the hell are you doing? Deep breath, then he yells for Jiu-Jitsu to dip. Yeah, that's his plan, just run. But Dahai protests, what about the one he's holding? Yamra just death stares her and declares that trash like Ivan's getting taken out properly. Ivan orders him to put the sinners down, but Yamra, nah, pass. Ivan clarifies, I don't mean capture, I mean bring them here now. Yamra calls him out, didn't you just say you'd trash them if they showed up? Ivan's patience is gone, dude charges in fists first. Yamra stays calm though, clocking that Ivan's fake raging but also side-eyeing escape routes. But why's he still cradling Pigzilla like it's a rescue mission? If he could just hide Dahai, the fight would be way simpler, but too many innocents would get dragged in. He's urging Dahai to wake up while Ivan's swinging. Yamra dodges, Matrix style. Still though, the doubt lingers. How do you fight without wrecking everything around you? Collateral damage check, big problem. Ivan knows Yamra's stalling, so he decides to force him into a choice. Man picks up a whole chunk of pavement like it's nothing, and hurls it straight toward a mom playing with her kid. Villain levels over 9,000. Yamra can't make it in time, but guess who can? Dahai, she snatches that slab midair, flips the momentum and yeets herself sideways. Crash lands into a wall, ouch. The mom's like, WTF just happened. Then everyone's watches buzz, disaster alert incoming. A dead presence has been detected, translation, GTFO immediately. The mom finally pieces it together, grabs her kid, no tears, we're out of here. Calm but deadly serious. Ivan's seething now, pissed he missed his target. All thanks to that damn Undertaker move, but Yamra must have seen the alert too, right? Ivan threatens, if you run I'll slaughter civilians, hand over the zodiac sign now. Yamra's not even paying attention, man's just glad the alarm bought him some breathing room. Ivan's like, listen to me, but Yamra, he just leaps. Ivan follows midair, throwing an unblockable attack. Yamra admits, yeah, he can't dodge, but neither can Ivan. Because bro just summoned hell itself beneath them. Both of them dragged straight into the underworld lobby. And Yamra casually blocks Ivan's attack like it's a Nerf gun. Noming shows up, instantly recognizing this lunatic. Oh great, it's this bastard. Yep, Ivan's sob story incoming. Daddy ditched wife one cause she couldn't have kids. Then married again, producing Ivan the Menace. Archbishop took one look at this clownery and cursed the whole bloodline. All because of Ivan's mess. Ivan swings again, Yamra dodges with ease, roasting. Yo, has your madness actually gotten worse with age? Noming confirms, yep, dude even beat his pregnant daughter-in-law brutally. Garbage tier human unlocked. Ivan tries another swing, ranting about how he killed back then. Then brags about getting cursed by the crown prince. Bro treats trauma like trading cards. That curse cranked his madness dial right back up. Yamra's fuming like, don't you dare cry over this, you don't get sympathy points after murder. Sinners only get one treatment, brutal punishment. But before justice can drop, Ivan cuts in with a charged-up nuke attack. Noming's pissed, yo, ever heard of not interrupting speeches? Yamra's like, hey, lend me your mantle real quick, gotta end this clown. He promises it's just to efficiently delete Ivan, EXE. No Ming refuses, bonking him instead, calling him a chaos gremlin. Yamra begs, come on, I'll give it back in a minute, don't be stingy. No Ming's like, you're forgetful as hell and this mantle has side effects. Hard pass. Mid-banter, Ivan's like, why the hell are you two arguing while I'm here? To shut him up, Yamra speed blitzes him before he can finish the sentence. Ivan didn't even see it coming, man's jaw just clocked the floor. He tries again, but Yamra delivers another punch, sending him skipping across the water like a pebble. Ivan powers up, finally admitting this guy ain't even human. Only option left, go full send, all in attack. He gathers power with both hands, Dragon Ball Z style. Anyone watching knows massive finisher incoming, but Yamra doesn't even flinch. Ivan tries to monologue and yep, another punch to the mouth. No Ming's dying laughing, realizing Yamra is timing punches every time Ivan opens his mouth. This is the pettiest form of combat trolling, legendary. Ivan's frothing mad now, how dare you toy with me. Yamra teleports behind him, whispering that classic anime line, guess you don't even know who's hitting you. But hey, he's about to find out the hard way, welcome to Burn, Center, Hellfire. Our boy S got no sword, no mantle, not even a flashlight, nada. Ivan swings again, finally realizing, oh crap, this ain't a random scrub. That's right, he's fighting the actual king of the underworld, demon boss battle unlocked. Yamra just tells him straight, punish the lightning, cold. Boom, giant thunderbolt straight at him, like Zeus just rage quit. Even No Ming's caught off guard, wait, did he just? Ivan uses the blast momentum to gut punch Yamra and smirks, how's that taste? Feels like every cell in his body is on fire, barbecue mode engaged. And yeah, direct lightning strike, normally a death sentence, not exactly spa treatment. But Yamra laughing in Ivan's face, thanks bro, you just made this fight easier. Ivan's jaw drops, dude took a thunder nuke and didn't even scratch. No Ming fills in the lore, lightning's useless, he may be nerfed right now but you ain't touching him. Ivan loses it, spamming attacks like a player mashing all the buttons in Tekken. Yamra just chilling, enjoying the muscle stretch, like yoga but with violence. He even drops the backstory, I adapted to lightning ages ago. His old boss was so abusive he used to literally zap him non-stop. Toxic work environment, level 999. Words won't teach you, guess I'll just show you. He once even asked the Jade Emperor to hit him with the strongest bolt possible. Result, nothing, zero, man didn't even get static hair. Yamra clowns him, calling him a senile old man, which triggers angry lightning rain because roasting gods has consequences. Meanwhile at the mall, Juro finishes her setup and checks in with Bikwu. Almost everything's wrapped up. Bikwu thanks her, teamwork speedrun complete. Juro shrugs, nah, I should be thanking you for showing up early. Thanks to them, civilians evacuate safe and sound. Mission complete, NPCs saved. Bikwu asks if Yamra's really fighting that dead one. Confirmed, yep. Both of them are scrapping in the underworld. Bikwu imagines the scenery equals pure chaos. Then she asks, did you find that pig Daha? Juro says yes, but Bikwu's uneasy. She's met Dahai a few times before. But Dahai never listened, even when Bikwu suggested switching jobs. Must be tied down by family obligations. Juro remembers what Cannibal did to her, face darkens. That ain't family, she spits. Dahai only thinks those monsters are her family. But it's fine, Yamra's on the field, he never lets sinners slip through. Back in Hell's arena, Cannonball is shook. Lucky break, if Ivan hadn't yeeted him aside, he'd be toast right now. Straight up corpse, no revive. All because Dahai dared call him father again, trigger warning. He already said don't call him dad, and why keep pretending this dumpster fires a family? He hates her guts, can barely understand her stuttering half the time. Wanna keep yapping or get treated like the director, bro's ice cold. He rants, those freaks came from her world, so why's he dragged in too? It's all her fault, she better get him out while he's still merciful. Dahai's crying, still calling him father, Cannonball barks, shut it. Jade Emperor's lightning strike interrupts the whole pity party. Yamra turns, eyes on Cannonball, never understood his logic anyway. Cannonball panics, yanks Dahai close, one more step and I snap her neck. Yamra asks the pig why she's doing this. Cannonball thinks he means him, nope, he's talking to her. Because she's a Zodiac, why's she taking abuse from this oversized meatball? Dahai greets him softly, eyes averted, been a while. Yamra asks what went down. Any help right now would be clutch. She stays silent, forcing Cannonball to scheme harder. He tries bargaining, I'll hand her over if you let me walk free. He boasts she obeys him anyway, so he'll just order her around. Come on, win-win deal, yeah. Bro's negotiating like a used car salesman. Ivan pops up again, disgusted, such arrogance. I'll shut you up myself, that Zodiac belongs to Tulbo. He's fuming, a mere human daring to talk big. Cannonball fires back, nah, she's my property, my leverage. Bro really said property. Dahai's breaking down, trembling in tears. Noming interrupts, wait, did you just say Tulbo? His aura explodes, did Tulbo send you? Ivan's lost, like wasn't this guy just a pet? Yamra stops him from nuking Ivan right then, reminding him, priority equals victim first. Noming exhales, apologizing for the outburst. Yamra crouches, asking Cannonball to back up so he can talk to Dahai. Cannonball refuses, not unless you let me walk. Yamra deadpans, one more word and I'll rip your tongue out. Then I'll hang you upside down and redecorate Hell's Halls with your guts. Hardcore interior design. Cannonball legit pisses himself. Yamra just tosses him aside like trash day. He kneels to Dahai, asking why she's chasing family. She confesses there's no such thing in hell. Humans look happy with families, so she envied them. Thought getting one would make her happy, but now she knows it was foolish. Yamra softly says her name, then asks if she wants to reincarnate with him with his family. Dahai stunned, is that really true? Yamra confirms, no hesitation. If they hold hands and reincarnate together, they'll be a real family. She bursts into heavier tears, would that really be okay? Yamra smiles, of course, but we gotta seal it with a promise. She hugs him, overflowing with gratitude. He hugs back, promising from now on they'll lean on each other. Suddenly Dahai glows crimson and Yamra's heart glows too, the bond activating. Noming is floored, she actually opened her heart completely. Her fate with Tulbo is erased, replaced with a destiny tied to Yamra. Ivan watches helplessly. Cannonball crawls to him, whispering, you need Dahai right. He offers to hand her over if Ivan helps him escape. Ivan almost crushes his skull on the spot. Noming intervenes, wait, Yamra decides his fate. Meanwhile, black flames around Dahai intensify. Ivan's memory finally jogs, he realizes what's happening. The bond is complete. Dahai emerges in a stunning red dress, now Yamra's direct subordinate. Ivan finally understands Tulbo's fear, Yamra's power is skyrocketing. Desperate, Ivan charges in fast. Noming calls him an idiot, he doesn't get what becoming a subordinate really means. Dahai and Yamra are now fate-bound, her soul linked to his. And she's granted a portion of his divine authority, GG power-up complete. And boom, our guy Yamra just scored something cracked beyond belief. A mantle so busted it makes people wish they never spawned into existence. The hidden cheat code, Chania, the literal devouring field. At this point Ivan's like, oh damn, so that's the real Yamra. Respect level maxed, no one's clowning his name again, no cap. And then get this, the ability actually eats Ivan alive. Yamra just snaps his fingers, releases the field and calls it a wrap. He casually drops the bomb, that dude he just chomped, one of Tulbo's lackeys. Translation, Tulbo's cooking up some galaxy brain scheme. With Ivan deleted, Yamra strolls up to Cannonball like, my bad for the wait, but it's judgment time bro. So be a good little sinner and shut up. He grabs Cannonball's head in instant panic mode. Dude's screaming, begging to talk to Dahal. Just one convo, one chance, that's all he wants. Yamra's like fine and yeets him at her feet. Cannonball instagrovels, forehead to the ground. Crying, whining, I was too harsh, please forgive me or something terrible's gonna happen. Man swearing up and down he'll never hit her again, never spit venom again, just please spare his sorry life. Yamra turns to Dahad like, so your call. And she's soft-hearted queen that she is, forgives him. He treated me like trash, yeah, but he did look after me too. Cannonball's like, wait, for real, you do that for me? And she confirms, yup, forgiveness granted. Bro takes this straight to Yamra's feet all smug. Cool, she forgave me, so you'll let me dip now, right? Yamra side-eyes him like, you seriously don't get it, huh? Cannonball hits him with the Uno reverse card. Forgiveness, reduced sentence, my guy. Yamra, nah, forgiveness doesn't erase the scars you left behind. Every wound, every memory, it all sticks. And here's the kicker, Yamra ain't human, and his court runs on zero tolerance. He slams Cannonball into the dirt, voice booming, the Punisher forgets nothing. Verdict delivered, this sinner's silver tongue, about to cut him. He's gonna feel his own body like a blade, slicing him endlessly until he's worn to nothing. Climbing the mountain of torment with no arms, no legs. And in about 3 minutes, poof, forgotten, deleted from the server. Meanwhile, someone who'd been waiting around goes, damn, that took longer than I thought. Yamra wipes his face, looking like he just rage quit life. It's handled. Juno tilts her head, curious, handled how? Yamra admits, every time I hand out divine justice, it drains me. She slides him a fish-shaped pastry like, eat up, king. Yamra stares at it like, where'd you even find this? She grins, there's a shop down the block. Picked it up cause I figured you'd be starving. Turns out Piku bought her extra time, so she snagged snacks for the squad. Yamra munches happily, walking the street like a chill tourist instead of hell's judge. But across the nation, Biku's piecing together bigger intel, the Zodiacs. Yeah, they're tied to this too. His assistant confirms, Ivan was indeed Tulbo's pawn, and Tulbo's been quietly gathering the 12 Zodiacs. Biku's like, why? They used to just obey him, now he's forcing them. Makes no sense, dude-s going full tyrant mode. And timing-wise, of course it lines up with Yamra showing up and flexing pressure everywhere. Tulbo definitely felt that aura spike and started his Zodiac Pokemon hunt. Slowly, the picture clicks for Biku. Tulbo's baiting them, he knew the others would see through him if he slipped up, so he made a bold play. She scribbles urgent notes and fires them off to Yamra ASAP. But then, plot twist, she shoves her assistant against the wall. Whispers, I've got another mission for you, this one's life or death. Something secret in his ear, classified vibes. Then she pushes him again, dead serious. Your survival literally depends on this, don't screw it up. It's their one shot, their golden ticket. The assistant stares wide-eyed. You already know why we're here, start packing, it's go time. Tulbo's summoning the whole Zodiac squad. Biku tries to stall for time. Why now, why so aggressive, what's your big endgame? She's baffled, Tulbo never acted like this before. Junwoo ain't here for TED Talks though, he whips out his sword. 3 clean strikes and boom, Biku's on the floor. Orders go out, grab her, the assistant just freezes, panicking. But unlucky him, Junwoo notices. Gives him the side-eye, rats in the building. Cue the assistant bolting like Sonic. A minion asks if they should chase but Junwoo shrugs it off. Now waste of stamina, open a portal, we're off to bag more Zodiacs. Portal opens, squad files in. Then one dead man in monk cosplay pipes up, mind if I dip for a bit? Red-haired dude groans, again, bro you just love tormenting humans. The heretic monk clutches pearls, wow rude not me. Junwoo sighs but allows it with a catch. If you see Yamra, don't even think about fighting. Redhead smirks, if you find fun stuff call me. Monk smiles back, of course, why wouldn't I? Fast forward, next morning Yamra and Jiwoo kick open doors like anime cops on a case. Turns out, emergency summons. Jiwoo apologizes, but Yamra's just wondering who woke him up this early. Headquarters of the Undertakers, yeah, just got smoked by the dead, Area S on lockdown. A taxi screeches up, they hop in. Jiwoo asks the driver to get as close to the danger zone as possible, and buckles Yamra's seatbelt like he's a kid. Yamra side-eyes her seriously, but she's not joking. She explains the situation's more complicated than it looks. Remember what Biku said, humans are weak sauce compared to the dead. Yamra nods, yeah, he recalls that. Jiwoo explains, 21 years ago when the dead invaded, the Undertaker Association was born, basically state-paid Ghostbusters. Yamra stares blankly, so she dumbs it down. Thinking, then she nails it. Undertakers equals police for the dead, salary included. One pro-Undertaker can handle 3 dead mobs at once, unless they're boss-tier. Sinners who have marinated in hell longer, those need shrouds to be handled. Power scale simplified, dead humans, humans plus shroud dead, dead plus shroud both. And those shrouded dead, they're called Chunya. Yamra's satisfied, but no more theory, they've arrived. HQ is pure rubble, nothing left. Yamra stays calm, doesn't matter if they're regular dead or Chunya will capture them all. Suddenly No-Ming stumbles in like he just finished a torture workout. Not so simple, bro. He's dripping with blood, Yuhu freaks, but it ain't his. Yamra asks if he managed to pull intel from Ivan. No-Ming says he tried the gentle approach. Ivan begged for his life, but turns out man knew nothing, 0 lore drops. Yamra's face darkens, everyone goes silent. He sighs, from here on it's only gonna get harder. But our guy's praying it ain't John Woo or Bulgo pulling up. Because if it is those 2 cracked monsters, yeah, GG no Ray. Meanwhile, some undead creep is crouched behind a rock slab, locked and loaded, ready to third-party his way into new victims. Yamra tells Jiwoo to hit up HQ and report that backup's en route. From there, straight to their position. And trust, they'll be speedrunning the shortest path, sending every zombie they bump into right back to Hell's respawn screen. Cut to OVBC News, where a reporter drops a wild update. Patients who are getting psych help for depression just dipped from the hospital altogether. This nationwide mass logout controversial as hell. Most of them born in the year of the pig BTW. Now, over to Professor Kim Tong. He confirms it, this ain't random, it's the start of some freaky new social phenomenon. Like Year of the Rooster, you're basically a rooster energy. Folktale vibes, but weird stuff been popping off everywhere. Pig year babies, depressed sheep year crew, suddenly full-on religious. Snake year folks, murder rates skyrocketing, like actual crime wave. Researchers are grinding on this theory, thinking something's hacking humanity itself. Reporter thanks him for his hot takes. He warns the undead are still on their world tour of chaos, even right now. Undertakers with shrouds are busting their asses to contain things, but plot twist. The zombies suddenly acting like they've got military formation with Chanya everywhere. Makes subjugation damn near impossible. Dudes stuck in a shelter, heart pounding, everyone just praying reinforcements hit fast. If the barrier drops, it's game over. And of course the barrier does get shredded, The dead storm in, Monk leading the charge. He starts chanting prayers like DLC Buddhist DLC warning. Yeah, massacre mode unlocked. Sad vibes, the living legit drowning in sorrow. Then bro asks if they're hiding someone here. Nobody even knows WTF he's talking about. Monk just lets the corpses run wild. So the Undertakers fire up their shrouds, ready to tank. Leader orders the wounded carried out while they stall for time. Everyone pops their powers, mowing down any undead pushing in. They save some, wipe out big packs, but the writing's on the wall, they're getting steamrolled. Leader realizes the grind is unwinnable, no plays left. Then boom, hope respawns, someone yells reinforcements just showed up. Leader's hyped, asking how many. The reply, just 2. Leader thinks, ah, you mean 200, lit. Guy's face says nah, maybe 20. Still, 20's manageable. Nope, reality check, only 2, bro, they're cooked. Monk spawns behind him, roasting. Sad era, even gods dipped on y'all. Leader sizes him up, yeah, this undead unit is way out of his league. His life's basically on loan now. Monk drops philosophy bars. From nothing to nothing, life's trash, short AF, dying useless, lame, right. He's basically emo posting IRL. Leader stays quiet, so Monk says chill, he just wants to talk. Drops a lore bomb, Biku's already captured. Leader demands why, Monk shrugs, irrelevant now. Flashback, when they grabbed her, she started spouting random ancient trivia. Turns out she used to be Tuba's advisor. Brilliant strategist, no reason to ramble except she was stalling. To buy time for one sus tiny human to escape, they searched everywhere but still can't find him. Monk's guess, dude's hiding right here. Leader tells him cut the crap and Monk just grins. He points at the wounded kids and old folks. Yeah, your mystery guy's probably in that crowd. His deal, let him search. If he finds nothing, he'll dip and leash his zombie squad. He even flexes that he was a monk once, swears he still values life. Pinky promise no one gets hurt. Just hand over the hidden one. Time to choose, open the gates or wipe in a fight they cannot win. Leader looks around, wounded everywhere, Undertaker's dead tired. Biku's assistant is shook, realizing the undead tracked him all the way. He's torn, can't risk everyone for himself, but also can't trash Biku's trust. If he's caught, her sacrifice equals pointless. While he's stressing, Jiuwu rests a hand on his shoulder, don't sweat it anymore. Leader's mind breaking under the weight, morals versus survival, he's collapsing. Then another Undertaker interrupts, don't trust that clown, he reeks of blood. Says the monks just vibing off their suffering, don't fold now. Monk stares, then flips mask off. He'll leave empty-handed, sure, but not before giving them one final pain DLC. Undertaker braces for death. But bam, black flames burn the monk's hand, and he instantly recognizes them. Only one dude owns flames that eat everything. The king himself, Yamra, what an entrance. Backstory time, in his prime as Underworld boss, one of Yamra's 12 subs was heretic monk Niu. When Niu was still human, he once raided a tiger's den where a novice monk was brutalized. Dude got rage buffed, shredded the tigers into mincemeat, left them to rot. Became legend status, combat cracked but morals deleted. No Meng glares, disgusted he'd joined Tulbo of all people. Yamra asks why he's here. Niu claps back saying Yamra's been living that cushy retirement glow-up. Tosses in some snark about him aging well too. Teases with mockery, but yeah, Niu's just trolling, kinda happy to see him again. Still, he didn't expect Yamra to be rolling with a fresh recruit. Jokes that training her must have been hell mode trials. Then flips serious, we're enemies now, nature of the game. But curiosity hits, asks if Yamra can just let him bounce, pretend he never showed. Yamra's like, dream on, I'm ripping you apart and shipping your soul express to hell. He'll even torture the truth out, however long it takes. Niu grins, says he's glad Yamra's still the same stubborn beast, but warns he's the one who'll end him. He even repeats his old catchphrase, you'll never know unless you try. Then inhales deep and screams loud enough for every Chanya in range to hear. Announcing the Underworld King is here to take back their present, if he levels up anymore. Tulbo's in deep trouble. That's why while he's still vulnerable, this is the shot. Operation Subjugate Yamra initiated.